I sat in the living room, staring at Emily as she sobbed on the couch. The weight of her confession hung heavy in the air, but I forced myself to maintain a calm exterior. My mind was already racing with a plan, a twisted form of revenge that would bring me some semblance of closure. "Emily," I said softly, my voice barely above a whisper, "I need you to listen to me carefully." She looked up, her tear-streaked face filled with hope and fear. "Mark, please. I can explain everything." "Shoo," I interrupted, raising a hand to silence her. "I know you think you have an explanation, but right now, I need you to trust me. I need you to believe that I'm not going to leave you." Her eyes widened, confusion mixing with relief. "You're not." "No," I said firmly, "I'm not leaving, but we need to do something together, something that will help us heal." She nodded slowly, her hands trembling as she wiped away her tears. "Anything, Mark. Just tell me what you need." "I want to throw a surprise party for you," I said, watching her reaction closely. "For both of you." Her breath caught in her throat, and she stared at me in disbelief. "A party? For me and—" "Yes," I confirmed, my tone steady. "I think it's important for us to confront this head-on. If we pretend that everything is normal, maybe we can find a way to move past it." She hesitated, clearly unsure of my intentions. "Are you sure about this, Mark? I don't want to hurt you more than I already have." "I'm sure," I said, forcing a smile. "Trust me, Emily. This is what we need." She nodded again, though the doubt remained in her eyes. "Okay. When do you want to do this?" "Tomorrow night," I replied without hesitation. "We'll invite all our friends. Make it a big celebration. It'll be perfect." The next day, I spent hours planning the party. I called everyone we knew, making sure they understood the importance of keeping it a secret. I arranged for the house to be decorated, ordered food and drinks, and even hired a band to play. Everything had to be perfect, down to the last detail. As the evening approached, I felt a strange sense of anticipation. This was it, the moment of truth. I watched as Emily dressed in a stunning red dress, her hair and makeup done to perfection. She looked beautiful, almost ethereal, and for a moment, I allowed myself to remember why I had fallen in love with her in the first place. "You look amazing," I said, my voice sincere. She smiled nervously, glancing at herself in the mirror. "Thank you. Are you ready for this?" "More than ready," I replied, offering her my arm. "Let's go make some memories." We arrived at the house, where the decorations were already in full swing. Balloons and streamers adorned every corner, and the scent of freshly baked goods filled the air. Friends and family milled about, chatting and laughing, completely unaware of the underlying tension. As the night progressed, I kept a close eye on Emily, watching her interactions with everyone. She seemed genuinely happy, her earlier anxiety replaced by a sense of normalcy. But I knew better. I knew what was coming, and I could see the flicker of fear in her eyes whenever she glanced in my direction. It wasn't until midnight that I made my move. I stood at the center of the room, tapping my glass with a spoon to get everyone's attention. The chatter died down, and all eyes turned to me. "Thank you all for coming tonight," I began, my voice steady. "This party is special for many reasons, but most importantly, it's a celebration of love." Emily looked at me, her expression one of confusion and concern. I could see the wheels turning in her mind, trying to figure out what I was about to say. "Emily," I continued, turning to face her. There's someone here who wanted to join us tonight. Someone very dear to you. Her eyes widened, and she shook her head slightly, mouthing the word no, but I ignored her, signaling to the door. The crowd parted as he walked in, his presence commanding attention. He was tall, with dark hair and piercing blue eyes that locked onto Emily the moment he entered. She gasped, her hand flying to her mouth as she took in the sight of him. Surprise, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. I thought it was only fair to include your lover in our little celebration. The room fell silent, all eyes shifting between Emily, her lover, and me. I could feel the tension thickening, the air charged with anticipation. Emily's face paled, and she looked at me with a mixture of horror and betrayal. Mark, what are you doing? She whispered, her voice trembling. What am I doing? I repeated, my voice rising. I'm giving you the chance to explain yourself, to show everyone just how much you love me. She shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. Please, Mark, don't do this. But I was beyond reasoning. I stepped aside, allowing her lover to approach. He hesitated, glancing at me before reaching out to take Emily's hand. Emily, he said softly, his voice filled with regret. I didn't know he was going to do this. She pulled her hand away, her eyes darting between the two of us. This isn't happening, she muttered, backing away. This isn't real. Oh, but it is, I said, stepping closer. And now everyone knows the truth. Now everyone knows just how much you've betrayed me. The room erupted into chaos, whispers and gasps filling the air. Emily's lover tried to speak, but I cut him off, my voice cold and unyielding. Leave, I commanded, pointing to the door. Both of you, get out of my house. He hesitated, looking at Emily for guidance. She nodded, her shoulders slumping in defeat. Without another word, they turned and fled, disappearing into the night. The room remained silent, all eyes on me. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their judgment pressing down on me. But I didn't care. This was my moment, my chance to reclaim some semblance of control. Thank you all for coming, I said, my voice breaking, but the party is over. With that, I turned and walked away, leaving the stunned guests behind. As I reached the door, I paused, glancing back at the empty space where Emily had stood just moments before. Goodbye, Emily, I whispered, my heart aching with a mixture of sorrow and satisfaction. And good riddance.